In the recovery room after the delivery, we had this beautiful child, and we were kind of confused as to why she was so blonde-headed. It's like, wow, she looks a little like an albino. Ashley was a very late walker, and I noticed that she was bruising, and I couldn't figure out where these little bruises were coming from. So I brought her to the pediatrician, and I said, look at her little shins. There's a bleeding problem. And he said, her skin is fair, so your C bruises better. And I thought to myself, it's like, my skin is fair. I don't see bruises. I think that's a bunch of malarkey. On one night, 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard whimpering in Ashley's room. And I went in there, and her crib was full of blood. And I saw that she was bleeding from her rectum, and I knew that we were in trouble, and I knew that we had to take her to the hospital. She was in the intensive care unit for weeks and in the hospital for months. And that was the push that made me really start to look into a little pamphlet I had on albinism. And this pamphlet had this one little sentence or two about an extremely rare disorder called Hermansky-Pudlak Syndrome, albinism, bleeding problem. Very horrific lung disease. When Ashley was diagnosed, there was about 23 people in the US mainland that were identified with HPS. My husband and I felt so isolated and so frightened. And I wanted to know where those 23 people are. I want to know what they're doing, and I want to know who's researching this, and where is the cure, and I found nothing. When somebody tells you that people succumb in their 30s and 40s, and you have this young child with you, you're like, wow, that's a long time. We can cure this disease by then. And you kind of feel really okay about things. And I mean, I certainly had, obviously, some sense of urgency, but nothing like the urgency I feel now.